Yeah.
Hello, Dallas. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to all my global viewers. Thank you so much for joining today's live program. Welcome to my show, Global Gupshup, an Asian news presentation. And I am your host, Anu Benekati, all the way from Dallas, taking you all on an exciting journey every time with me to meet an extraordinary guest every show. Well, today's topic is rather very unique, I must say, and extremely close to our heart, to all of us. Um, you know, to speak Earth. Earth is our home planet, and we are very often seen it as a the feminine, the great mother, known for its unconditional love, affection, nourishment, the fertility, if we come to that, the nature, and it's infinite creativity of Almighty. So, and of course, longevity is also represented by Earth. It is a world unlike any other, I must say, because it's the third planet from the sun, and Earth is the only place, folks, to known in the universe, confirmed to have or the host this many life, plants and human and animals, and so to speak, like ocean, so many of these. And if I am right, the radius is also like very small. It's only like almost around 4,000 miles, I believe. I mean, if I'm correct. And Earth is the fifth largest planet in our solar system. So, and it's the only one known for sure to have a liquid water on its surface. I guess something is actually happening, but I think it's well, as we go, we will explore, yeah, other than Earth, what exactly also is going to be in our scientific research. Well, folks, from poets to scientists to journalists, so many people have their own way of expressing their love for Earth. Like for example, Shakespeare says, one touch of nature makes the whole world, its own kin. So, or we can take for example, scientist Einstein. What he says is, we still do not know, just 1,000th of percent of what the nature has just given us or revealed to us. So how mysterious. And it's full of misery. We still have so much to explore when it comes to Earth. An American environmental activist and a poet, Mr. Barry Vandalberry, once said that the Earth is what we have in common. How apt and how appropriate, because that is one thing that we share as a humanity. So, this today's topic is all about that. We're going to talk such a beautiful way of connecting humanity in the universe. Well, being said all this, you must be wondering where I'm going. Well, okay, I am about to introduce my guest, because today I have a guest with me who has a very unique way of looking at our Mother Earth, and an astonishing way to appreciate it, and also an astounding way to show his gratitude or our gratitude for the blessing that what we have, or most of us almost every time take it as granted. Well, folks, he's also a physician, very well-known physician from Florida, and he's graduated from Mysore Medical School and completed his residency in England, Scotland, and Wales for 6 years. And his postgraduate degrees are MR, CGP, and DCH. And he worked as a district medical officer in Newfoundland, Canada, from 78 to 1980. And he also worked as a teaching fellow in the Department of Family Medicine, University of Miami, for 1 year, and worked as a clinical assistant professor in family medicine, same at the University of Miami. Currently, he's working as a family physician in private practice to present, serving the community since 1984 in Kendall. Started incorporating the integrative medicine in his office since the year 2000. So, he also helps people with the chronic gut problems, stress and pain management, and, and craniosacral and musculoskeletal therapy, and so on. So, and he's also a very, very proud father, or I should say, our proud 21st Surgeon General of United States, Dr. Vivek Murthy, is his son, and he's a very proud father, and we are so proud of him as well. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce Dr. Enel Halligere Murthy, all the way from Florida, to my show, Global Gupshup.
Thank you, Anu, for a wonderful introduction and also to tell so many good things about the Mother Earth and the nature and our gratitude.
Absolutely.
It is amazing how much you know about nature and the global.
Well, it is a small thing to speak, because I think what we take, I guess we have never learned to give back. Probably that's one of human nature, I believe. But I think it's time after 2020 that it's time to appreciate what we got, instead of taking every time as granted. So, and thank you for bringing that topic, and trying to bring that awareness in us, and also to approaching me to get this one spread in our community. So it's really nice. So before we talk about the details of all what we are going to introduce, the organization that you are and also involved with, and the one of the most the beautiful monument that you're working on, the project, and we will talk about a whole lot about this. But before that, I think let our audience know a little bit more about you, and your journey a little bit, like how long ago that you came here, and how was life, and in brief, that will be great.
Yeah. Uh, I think, after the graduation, it was a wonderful year, I must say, in Mysore, which we did not realize when we were there. After we left, we realized how beautiful the life was in Mysore and also in India, and especially the weather wise and the people affection wise and all of that.
Mhm.
After all the residency training and graduation we did in England and Scotland, and we moved to Newfoundland, as you mentioned. And after that, because of the cold weather was much worse than England, so we decided to look for some warm place. We found Miami, which
Mhm.
is equal to Bangalore or
Yes.
Chennai, I would say. And we are very happy here. It is our second home. So
Mhm.
after leaving India, so we are very happy. One thing I realized in the United States for the first time, I've been around different parts of the world. When I came here and started working in the university, whenever I expressed certain views, suddenly there was a recognition in the university among the professors and the chairman to say, "Oh, Dr. Murthy is saying something, let us listen." I was very surprised and really pleasantly happy. Some thoughts are being recognized,
Mhm.
and that is the beauty of America, and that is the beauty where everybody's views and the excellence is being appreciated, encouraged, and then made them grow very well.
That's very nice of you to just like share that your experience with us. It makes us also like go back and look at it, and then it's like, yes, so many of us have been in those shoes. Thank you. So before we even talk about our today's topic, I think let's give a little bit of a introduction, like, and connect our audience that what we are going to take us through the journey of today. So let's start with the organization that you're involved with, and it all started because of that, called Scope Foundation. So talk a little bit about its purpose, services, and the projects, the past and present, and then we will talk about the current project, that what we are
Yeah.
going to talk in detail.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
So, Scope Foundation was started in 2006
Mhm.
with the main intention of helping the children's education, mainly in rural and small towns. And we started producing some of the screening of the children for their eye visual deficiencies.
Mhm.
Initially, we started with distributing the computers to the schools. The
Okay.
reason was, in the villages, children do not have the IT educational facilities, but when they have to compete for the
Mhm.
college admissions, they
Right.
have to compete with the city children where
Mhm.
they have all the facilities and amenities, and it
Mhm.
is actually handicap for them. So I decided to take new computers from in United States and distribute it to about First time about 17 schools, and second time about another 15 schools.
Mhm.
But later on, through the process of customs and other things become more cumbersome. So I
Right.
thought it would be more appropriate for me to do some other services for
Mhm.
the children as well as for the other group.
Right. Right.
So we continue to do the scholarships
Mhm.
and encouragement for the children and eye screening for the children. It is amazing. At least about 10 to 15% of the children in schools require glasses,
Oh
but they
yes.
would not ask for one.
Right.
And if you just provide a simple screening and glasses, they
Right.
would really benefit very much with
Mhm.
the education. That is the
Right.
one. After doing this for a few years, we realized there are two areas in life, in human life, that
Mhm.
requires more attention. One
Mhm.
is when you are youngest,
Mhm.
and another one is when you are oldest.
Right.
So this is the age group. Then we decided how could we help the elderly people.
Right.
So it came into mind the commonest reason for the blindness around the world is
Mhm.
actually
Mhm.
cataract.
Right.
So we thought, let us screen all the elderly people for cataracts
Mhm.
and then provide them the services. So we did that.
Mhm.
So thousands of people have been screened. Of cataract surgeries were given and
Mhm.
then followed up also. And
Mhm.
we provided all the care with full financial responsibility. This
Mhm.
process, we did not raise any funds or anything. It is all family funding only.
Mhm.
And because of that, we took only the cataract issue. We did not take the other healthcare issues like diabetes, blood pressures, and other things. And we would, advertise in the community, and we get the patients, and we get the doctors from Mysore.
Right.
The screening, the transportation is provided free of charge. The surgery is free of charge. Glasses. So when they come back to the villages,
Mhm.
they will be given once a week for 4 weeks follow up, and then once a month for 3 months follow up. All of
Mhm.
this, that is what we did. And then in 2019,
Mhm.
of course, all these years I've been practicing medicine. When I was
Mhm.
practicing medicine, because of the integrative nature of the medicine I was practicing, in
Mhm.
the United States, the highest problem in the United States is mental stress. There is a
Right.
mental stress presenting in the doctor's office with the physical problems.
Right.
So then, I thought we have the license to prescribe the medications, all of
Mhm.
which is actually addictive medication. Then
Right.
I thought, for such a common problem, if I have only the medications, I have the license to actually create addictive society. Then
Mhm.
I thought we must have some other alternative methodology to address the common problem. That is when
Right.
I went and learned the integrative medicine.
Mhm.
During the process, there is one element which I will describe later on.
Okay.
Is called active relaxation of the mind. I will describe
Okay.
later on in the program.
In the-
In
Sure.
this active relaxation, I would ask the patients to
Mhm.
meditate on the Mother Earth
Right.
because, as a physician, I did not want to go into the religious side of
Mhm.
the activity. So I
Mhm.
focused on the Mother Earth, and also I had developed a methodology to test the energy,
Mhm.
the meditation, and then after they did the meditation.
Mhm.
Always in 25 years, I must have tested thousands of patients.
Mhm.
Not even once the energy was reduced. Energy was always 100% higher after
Mhm.
5 minutes of meditation. So that is when I thought
Mhm.
Mother Earth has such a spiritual energy. When
Mhm.
we concentrate and meditate on her, she gives that energy to us. But unfortunately, we have millions of temples, millions of churches, millions of mosques, but we don't have one single monument in
Mhm.
the whole world in
Mhm.
respect and recognition of our services for our
Mhm.
Mother Earth. That is when in 2019, I thought, as a sense of gratitude, we should have a monument in her
Amen.
name. That
Right.
is how it started.
So monument is also like we are comparing to the kind of like a worshipping Mother Earth at the same time that we are actually appreciating what we are getting from Mother Earth, and that is the whole idea of like creating the monument Is that correct? Because you said that when you conducted those experiments on those people, that when they started the meditation, their concentration level or the peace of mind that was at the level of either 0 to 2, and then after that, and you experimented with the water, and then that one was like all the way to 10, and not even a single time that was failed. So I
Yeah, I
think
get
that
that.
is definitely something that is very, very interesting
Yes.
to learn.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, in addition to that, so there are a lot of work has been done.
Uh-huh.
For example, in India, we take Tirtham and Prasadam.
Right.
Okay, I have tested whether you do the prayers in silence,
Uh-huh.
whether you do the prayers in a loud way,
Uh-huh.
chanting, okay, or whether you sit down and meditate. There is always a change in the energy of the person.
Mm-hmm.
That change permeates
Mm-hmm.
not just within the person.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to the within the person, it permeates outside the person to the surrounding structure, surrounding people, and surrounding water. That
Correct.
is when I have tested the tirtha
Mm-hmm.
before they have done the prayers or the bhajans,
Mm-hmm.
and I have tested the energy of the same tirtha after that. It is
Right.
always 100% higher.
Okay.
So that tells us the vibrations what we create
Okay.
through the meditation,
Okay.
silently or prayers, silently or overtly,
Right.
positive vibrations create a positive response in
Mm-hmm.
our body.
Right.
You see, our body is made of 75% of water.
Mm-hmm.
So the molecules in the body, what molecules in the body, because of the positive focus what we are having, it will
Mm-hmm.
change
Right.
to the
Right.
positive side. And
Correct.
whatever the water they are holding, whatever the things they are having next to them,
Mm-hmm.
it is so saturated,
Mm-hmm.
it permeates outside our body to the surrounding structures.
Okay.
So
Wow.
that is the one of the emphasis, I have been telling them.
Right.
Doing the meditation is not a myth, it is a science.
Correct.
Because especially younger children,
Mm-hmm.
they will think, meditation is something religious.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, even though it is a better acceptance now.
Mm-hmm.
When I started this program in 1987, 88,
Mm-hmm.
so some of the people from different countries who are very orthodox, they
Mm-hmm.
came in and were telling me, actually, I'm trying to spread some kind of a religious concept.
Right.
So then, but these days, the education of the community is so good, they do not have that kind of a constraint to practice meditation.
Wow, that's very nice to know, Dr. Murthy, because I know that I'm going to ask you the next question connected to this one because it's going to be very interesting. See, that is how we are connected to Earth so deeply and very unknowingly, getting all that energy transferred from Earth to us, and then getting a benefit out of it. So, how are we? I know we talked about it is not just one way. We are also connected emotionally, devotionally, and also spiritually, one or the other way to Earth. So, how so?
Yeah, that is a very good question. So far, humanity has been looking at Mother Earth
Uh-huh.
as a material provider.
Right.
We look at the Mother Earth, how much of oil she has, how much of
Mhm.
metal she has, how much of gold she has, whether the environment is going to be ruined by us, by carbon emission and whatever, all the things we are doing. And
Correct.
by that, the resources are going to be exhausted for us not to have it for children and grandchildren from here to thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
So we have been concentrating on the material wealth. We are concentrating on the future in terms of the material wealth.
Mm-hmm.
What I am bringing it here is Mother Earth has an abundant material wealth, understood, and we have
Okay.
been enjoying it
Yeah.
immensely.
Yes.
And
Immense.
all the things what we all have across
Right.
the world is
Right.
all the gift and the generosity of the Mother Earth what has been given.
Correct.
What we have not realized is Mother Earth also has a spiritual energy.
Okay.
Because of our spiritual energy, when we do the meditation,
Mm-hmm.
the energy change in our body is exactly the same when you do the meditation in a traditional way. So we need to recognize that spiritual strength of the Mother Earth.
Mm-hmm.
That way, we have the emotional attachment,
Mm-hmm.
we have the emotional bonding with her,
Okay.
And automatically, when you have the emotional bonding and attachment, the loving affection comes in there.
Yes.
When the love comes in there, nobody has to tell, okay, we will do the, what you call it, protect the Mother Earth, do this, do that. Just like, nobody has to tell us to take care of our mother, our father, or our children because of the loving emotional bond we have.
Correct.
So, with the spiritual approach to the Mother Earth,
Mhm.
as a sense of recognition, the expression of gratitude, we will be able to see
Mhm.
how we can relate to her as a mother,
Mother. Right.
because she is the real mother, not
Yes.
only for us, for generations to come, and generations has been.
Right.
Okay, and we need to recognize that generosity and start expressing our gratitude.
Sure. Absolutely right. And I 100% agree with you, because I think, like, especially with all the natural, the disasters and all we experienced in the last past year, I think we definitely have some sense that, how important it is that we should really value, the Mother Earth. Let's also talk about, the talking about the Earth. I know that we are going to have representing one of this global sculpture that is going to be representing in the monument. But before that, let's talk about like how we connected to the solar system. The Earth. So let us have. Can we have that rotating Earth? Let's for the display for audience. So that we can actually show them. So let's talk about our solar system and how it is connected with the Mother Earth, specific, of that one.
Yeah. So our Mother Earth, as we mentioned, this is the fifth largest planet so in our solar system,
Yes.
and she is the only planet in our entire solar system or in the universe, for example, for this one, able to support a life.
Correct.
Okay, she had the ability to support the life, ability to disperse the radiation from the solar system,
Mhm.
solar rays from the sun. And with all of these things, she had the water, she had the needed oxygens and other all the supplies and other things,
Right.
and the nutrients to support all of those things. She is the only one.
Right.
And having said that, she has been surrounded by so many other planets in our solar system.
Mm-hmm.
And for billions of years, Mother Earth was started beginning to form the solar system 4.5 billion years ago.
Mm-hmm.
About 3.5 billion years ago, the Mother Earth and the other planets actually formed.
Mm-hmm.
From that time, so if you look at the Mother Earth, how she has been working so hard to
Mm-hmm.
keep all the humanity so safe. We think about, we are struggling in our life and working and all of those things. If you
Mm-hmm.
look at the Mother Earth and the other planets, how
Mm-hmm.
they are working very hard to keep us very safe. Mother Earth travels at 67,000 miles per hour.
Okay. Wow.
67,000 miles.
Mm-hmm.
By the time we have finished our discussion, we would have traveled almost 35,000 miles on Mother Earth.
Right.
Okay. In addition to that, she rotates
Mm-hmm.
at 1,000 miles per hour,
Mm-hmm.
so that every part of the Mother Earth is capable of getting the sunlight.
Sunlight.
Okay, there is a tremendous amount of radiation coming from sun.
Mm-hmm.
So she had the ability through her magnetism,
Mm-hmm.
okay, to able to disperse this magnetic radiation from the sun, so
Mm-hmm.
that it would not be as hot as as the other planets,
Mm-hmm.
where the water can be evaporated.
Right.
So that is what happened in Mars. So
Mm-hmm.
the Mars does not have the same the what do you call it magnetism as the Earth has. So it did not have the protective mechanism. So the water got dried up in the Mars.
Right.
So she does that. In addition to that, the other planets
Mm-hmm.
also cooperating with us. Especially the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Mother Earth is only about 24,900 miles in circumference. She is a very small planet.
Right.
Okay. Whereas Sun, he occupies almost 95% of the solar system.
Yes.
95%.
All right.
His circumference is 2007 million miles.
Mm-hmm.
2007 million miles.
Mm-hmm.
And Sun also is traveling
Mm-hmm.
around our Milky Way.
Right.
We are part of the Milky Way.
Mm-hmm.
So the solar system is attached
Mhm.
to one of the arms of the Milky Way. It is called Orion, Orion, Orion,
Mhm.
and he goes around at 450,000 miles an hour.
Right.
450,000 miles an hour,
Mhm.
and he takes 230 million years to
Mhm.
go one round the Milky Way.
Right.
So you can imagine just our Milky Way alone, how
Mhm.
huge it is. It is uh, and all of this traveling in the orbit is happening for billions of years,
Mhm.
and Mother Earth is being bombarded by other planetary systems around, but
Mhm.
still she is keeping us so safe
Mhm.
all these years without having to go through any problems.
Got it.
So I tell my patients when they come back and tell me, doctor, I'm really loaded with a lot of stress. I give this example of the Mother Earth.
Right.
She is giving and giving and giving to all of us. She
Right.
is still working very hard, whether you recognized her
Oh, yeah.
services or gratitude and other
Unconditionally.
things. And still she is working without any regrets.
Right.
And we don't have anything to regret here. We need to enjoy the life, move on.
Right. So that is a great connection. Like I can see that, on what you said, that we can say that materialistically, that, like, we can touch, we can feel, we can stay, and we can take all, the things that she has given, like the nature, water, food, like you name it, and then we are all blessed with so many things. So materialistically, that we are closely connected to Mother
Correct.
Earth. And spiritually also, that what you just said, that we kind of, like, try to connect. So how do you, I mean, you also said that there should be some way that we need to appreciate through the music, or like just like how we express our affection to any of our gods, or any of our the other people, that what we say, the similar way that we need to appreciate Mother Earth also. So you have something that you actually talked about, that you want to play and show our audience, that how we can connect spiritually through this chanting, appreciating her.
Yes. So these are the few things, what I'm suggesting to people whom I treat with
Mm-hmm.
or whom I do the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
One of the thing is, before we get up in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
just chant the name of the Mother Earth, Bhudevi Namaha,
Mm-hmm.
salutation to the Mother,
Okay.
Mother Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then before we eat,
Mm-hmm.
to chant her name 3 times.
Okay.
Okay. If you have more time, you can chant all the Navagraha names.
Right.
And also in the all the Navagraha names, I request them. Unfortunately or fortunately, I do not know what is the reason. In our traditional Navagraha chanting,
Mm-hmm.
we start with the Suryaya, Chandraya, Mangalaya like this,
Mm-hmm.
but there is no Mother Earth.
Right.
So I felt, Mother Earth is the one which is the center for all of us, but unfortunately, her name is not even mentioned here. We
Okay.
have taken it for granted. So
Okay.
I request them to chant
Mm-hmm.
Sri Bhudevi Suryaya Chandraya Mangalaya Budaya Cha Guru Shukra Shanibhyascha Rahuve Ketuve
Mm-hmm.
Vishwave Namaha. That means
Mm-hmm.
without the Mother Earth we start, with Mother Earth we start. We thank all the planets in our solar system,
Mm-hmm.
and also we thank the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I mentioned to you,
Mm-hmm.
just in our Milky Way,
Mm-hmm.
in addition to our solar system, there
Mm-hmm.
are 5,000
Okay.
similar things in our Milky Way alone.
Right.
5,000, which we do not have all the geography of them, but
Mm-hmm.
none of them have been able to support the life. So we not only thank other planets in our solar system and also the universe. When we do that, as I said, prayers have powers,
Mm-hmm.
okay, which we have shown through the experiment, through the subjective energy exchange, energy changes, energy testing. So if we believe in that, by praying, especially the community and the global praying on
Mm-hmm.
the universe does have a positive impact. Just
Correct.
like it has a positive impact on our body
Yeah.
individually,
Right.
collectively it has an impact on the universe.
Correct. Correct.
Okay,
So.
so before that, so and then the chanting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is the chanting.
okay.
I ask them, they can do it in English,
Mm-hmm.
they can do it in Spanish, and they can do it in their own language. And
I remember you telling me that this one is also like in several, like more than one languages, that actually that you have already named those navagrahas, like because the solar system was discovered way 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 long ago, before even like we know as a solar system, because navagraha itself that represent that it existed like before even we know the names of these solar system as in scientifically recognized. So those are the navagrahas that what you said. They have a great effect on the, like they cooperate with Earth in a very specific way. You said so.
correct.
Can you talk a little bit about that one?
Yeah, basically, when the Mother Earth is moving so
Mm-hmm.
fast,
Mm-hmm.
okay, some of the other planets in our solar system
Mm-hmm.
is very huge, like Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter is so huge. Okay, you can put almost 1,000 Mother Earths inside the Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Sun,
Mm-hmm.
you can put in the size of the Mother Earth is so small.
Right.
1.3 million Mother Earths you can put inside the Sun.
Wow.
It is that huge. So when they have, if
Mm-hmm.
you relate this kind of a strength
Mm-hmm.
and vulnerability
Mm-hmm.
and cooperation
Mm-hmm.
in the solar system, our Mother Earth is one of the smallest, only 24,900 miles circumference.
Mm-hmm.
Any of these planets can bulldoze off. If you think of today's political situation,
Mm-hmm.
the large countries, the powerful countries can bulldoze any of the small countries.
Smaller countries. Right.
Okay.
Right.
But we need to understand one thing,
Mm-hmm.
in our solar system, even though they have the ability to bulldoze smaller planets like
Mm-hmm.
Mercury, they
Mm-hmm.
have not done that for billions of years. They are
Correct.
living with coexistence, cooperation, and harmony.
Right.
And we have a lot to learn from that.
Absolutely.
Okay, just because I am very powerful, we don't have the ability, sorry, the power to
Mm-hmm.
push somebody else out.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, so this is what I
So
would
they
like to
coexist in
emphasize.
a way. Okay. So that's really good to know. Sorry to interrupt, but also like taking the Earth, Navagraha, everything. So we want to also know, like, now you're originally from Halligere, Mandya, and
Correct.
I think that is where that you are going to be. Like we are talking about building this monument. So let us talk about this monument. Like, how did you get this inspiration? And you did say that a little, the first one was actually originally planned in Florida, but it moved. The big one was moved to India, and now that you are already started this project, and because of the pandemic, there was a little bit of a hold on it, but now it is moving again. So let's talk about what this monument is, and how did you get this idea or the inspiration to build, to represent your love for Mother Earth.
Yes. One is to express the gratitude for the Mother Earth,
Mhm.
and also using this concept, how we can bring the humanity together.
Okay.
Okay. Unity of humanity through science of spirituality. The reason I wanted to build it in Orlando because it is a international capital of tourism. Orlando. So a lot of people will be exposed to it because the unity of the humanity was the main focus. I wanted a lot of people to come and visit and see all of this.
Right.
But the administrative difficulties, financial difficulties were much more than what I could handle.
Mhm.
And in India, it is much more easier to get it done
Mhm.
and also easier to accomplish it. That is why it was more. The concept here is the monument is essential. Initially, what happens is the beauty attracts the eyes.
Right.
If you have a build monument in the name of the Mother Earth, providing her beauty, as you saw in the picture, she is so beautiful with
Right.
all the blue water and the landmass and all of that. So when you see the any part of the Mother Earth,
Right.
as you come closer to Mother Earth,
Mhm.
you see the more and more beauty.
Right. Right.
As you go closer to the other planets, you'll
Mhm.
see more and more barren land.
Right.
Okay, you can compare that. So such a beautiful Mother Earth we have.
Right.
By looking at that Mother Earth, and when we have her as a central statue,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of the things all around will be humanitarians who served the people on the Mother Earth, okay, on this planet for
Mm-hmm.
thousands and hundreds of thousands of years. So
Correct.
we'll put them for them to bless us for doing this to Mother Earth. That is
Right.
one concept.
Right.
And the services are going to be all spiritual practices
Okay.
like the meditation and
Mm-hmm.
all the rest of the things, the yoga,
Mm-hmm.
reading the scriptures. And
Mm-hmm.
also, there is a definite protocol for them
Mm-hmm.
to be able to do 1 hour for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Rest you can give it to anybody else.
Right.
If we have the time, I will describe that also in the
Sure,
later part.
sure. So before we even go into that details, let's talk about the monument itself. So, like, that how it is, because when you talked about it, it was an amazing, because it represents the global architecture, and also the I believe the religious representation from all over the universe, and also the sculpture itself is very unique, the statues, everything. So let's talk about the project itself, and like what it is. Like you said that it has a 4 different walls. What is the purpose of having a main 4 walls, and what they have on it, or the what they represent? If you
Mm,
could please take us there.
yeah. The name of the monument is Mother
Yeah.
Earth, the Center for Science of Spirituality.
Okay.
In Sanskrit, Bhudevi Adhyatmika Kendra.
Okay.
So that is the Sanskrit name.
Okay.
So when we put the Mother Earth in the center,
Okay.
the idol is going to be carved out of one single rock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we will be embedding all the blue stones just like we see in the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to make her very beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, and it will be in the center, and all the praying and other things will be done only to the Mother Earth.
Right.
All around 4 walls, it is a 11,000 square feet building.
Okay.
It will be built in a traditional granite monument.
Okay.
Okay, when we do that, so at the entrance, on the eastern entrance, it has the eastern architecture.
Mm-hmm.
On the western entrance, we have the Greek and Roman architecture.
Mm-hmm.
On the north entrance, we have the Central Asian and also the Thai architecture. On the southern entrance, we have the Middle Eastern architecture.
Right.
So
Right.
this way, people who come from different parts of the world should
Right.
be able to relate to not only from the Mother Earth point of view, because it belongs to all of us,
Mm-hmm.
but also when they see the artwork or the architecture, they can relate to them from particular region. That is
Right.
number two.
Right.
Number three, we also have selected
Mm-hmm.
total of 64 humanitarians. These
Wow.
are the humanitarian individuals
Mm-hmm.
who served the humanity without any barriers.
Okay.
They
Okay.
wanted to serve the life,
Okay.
not this particular group or that particular group.
Right.
Okay. And these people did not serve only one segment of the community. Unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
later on, the people who followed these people
Mm-hmm.
made them as a one sect or a one part of the
Mm-hmm.
community, which
Mm-hmm.
divided us, unfortunately. What
Right.
I'm saying is, all the gods or the goddesses or the saints, they all came to serve the humanity in
Yes.
total, not
Yes.
in part. And
Right.
we have been divided by so many different means.
Mm-hmm.
And it is good time and it is a very important time for us to think about it
Mm-hmm.
intellectually and come back together to be united again at
Mm-hmm.
global level,
Right.
not at an individual or a national level, but a
Mm-hmm.
global level. We
Mm-hmm.
have to say Mother Earth is a mother for all of us,
Yes.
and we are all the children of her. And
Right.
if no matter how many children a mother has, if
Mm-hmm.
one children being hurt, okay, she will feel sad.
Yes.
And we need to realize that, and we need to really think we are all the children of the Mother Earth. We need to take care of each other, not to
Right.
kill each other.
Right.
And
Right.
we do not have any divisions.
Right. What
That
a
is the
wonderful.
concept we want to bring it in this center.
Right.
And through spirituality
Mm-hmm.
and showing the spirituality as a science
Mm-hmm.
and also reading the scriptures.
Okay.
from around the world. For
Mm-hmm.
example, we have the Bhagavad Gita.
Right.
Because it is branded as a Hindu,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it does not spread to the any other part of the world. But Bhagavad Gita was not just for Hindus, it is for the humanity.
Correct.
Same thing as the Bible. It is
Right.
for the humanity. Same thing as the Torah. It is
Right.
for the humanity. So all of this universal scripture
Mm-hmm.
should be given to all human beings
Mm-hmm.
without any barriers.
Mm-hmm.
By doing it, we are depriving ourselves of the good things what people have been given it to us.
Okay. Okay. So we are actually distancing ourselves from something good that that what we have already given, and just not experiencing it. So just not by not accepting it. So that, what a wonderful message, probably. So you also mentioned that some of these on top of all these, the wall, the humanitarian figures that we are going to put on the wall, you also have like a four different statues which are very prominent, that are going to be coming in four corners of that one. So can you name like who they are?
Yeah. So we have selected from the entrance of the this one. We have in the eastern the entrance. We have Lord Krishna, Vishnu,
Mm-hmm.
and Lord Shiva.
Okay.
Okay. On the western entrance, we have these are the entrance statues are 6 feet high
Wow.
and carved out of granite stones.
Okay.
Okay. And then on the western entrance, we have Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
the way we see it in Rio de Janeiro, with the open arms,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and Virgin Mary.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the eastern entrance. On the northern entrance, we have Lord Mahavir
Mm-hmm.
and also Lord Buddha.
Okay.
Okay. On the southern entrance, we
Right.
have the symbol of Star David
Mm-hmm.
and also the crescent moon.
Wonderful.
Okay. So, these are at the entrance. And
Mm-hmm.
all around, so we have 3 feet statues.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 3 feet in height,
Mm-hmm.
but 5 feet in the frame,
Mm-hmm.
the framing and everything included. All of
Mm-hmm.
these things will be carved out of
Mm-hmm.
granite or marble, because
Right.
some of the pictures right now, we are discussing with Shilpis in Athens, the
Right.
sculptures in Athens. They have difficulty in carving in granite because
Mm-hmm.
they are very knowledgeable in carving in marbles only.
Right.
Okay, so we want to see how we can make them carve
Mm-hmm.
Socrates and Galileo and all of that, because they are from that part of the world.
Yes. Yes.
And we are also trying to say
Mm-hmm.
the saints or the humanitarians
Mm-hmm.
who will be installed in the monument,
Moments.
whatever the area they come from, we would like to find a sculpture to carve that in that place.
Right.
Because
Right.
when they carve, they
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of emotional affection.
Mm-hmm.
The finishing will be much more beautiful than somebody carving in somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all the Indian humanitarians will be carved in India.
Mm-hmm.
All the other parts of like Brazil, I want them to carve Jesus in
Right.
Rio, and the Virgin Mary in Mexico. So these are the sculptures we are looking for and then trying to carve.
Mm-hmm.
So we make it look very authentic. So that way, when people come in,
Mm-hmm.
they will have the history to each statues we will be inculcating, and
Right.
also we will give them the internet connectivity and the website where they can understand much more detail
Right.
about each person whom you are installing there.
Right.
So
Right.
there will be 64 people like that.
Wow. Wow, that is really amazing. So, and you said that from Lord Basava to Ramakrishna Paramhansa to Vivekanand, and
Yeah,
so many of those all over the world will be representing those walls
correct,
on each side of the
correct. On the
monument.
eastern wall, because we are knowledgeable on that area, so we have selected 8 of them at the present time.
Mm-hmm.
And on the western side, we have selected only 3, but still we are in a process of selecting more.
Right.
On
Right.
the northern side and the southern side, still we have not made any decision yet. There is
Right.
a group of people who are working on all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we will be selecting.
Let's also talk about the geographical location of this, specific monument. And I know that, like it is near Mysore, the Mandya, and also comparatively, like, all the the tourist attractions that already existed near, like, for example, the Mysore Palace or Chandi, those,
Chamudi.
yeah. So, and also the zoo, things like that. So comparatively, so how are we introducing this one to the visitors, like, because I know that this is going to be a little bit far away, that it's invisible. So is there a way that people will know that, like, where it is coming
Yeah.
up?
I think, that is a very good question and a practical question. A lot of people ask me about that.
Okay.
So, this monument is going to be about 10 miles, 9 miles actually, 9 miles away from the highway,
Okay.
Bangalore Mysore highway.
Okay.
From Bangalore, it is about 72 miles.
Wow.
From Mysore, it is 35 miles.
Okay. Wow,
So
that's.
it is from
Mhm.
Mandya, which is
Mhm.
the in between Mysore and Bangalore city. It
Right.
is only about 9 miles. So it has a highway from the
Mhm.
Mandya city
Mhm.
to the monument. It
Right.
has a highway, so it takes about 10 minutes to drive.
Right.
So people, for example, for Mysore Palace,
Mhm.
almost every year, about 6 million people visits Mysore Palace.
Right. Right. I've
So
heard
out of 6 million people, because of the unique nature of the monument,
that. Mhm.
the concept of the monument, the architectural value of the monument,
Mhm.
the different representation of all the humanitarians.
Mhm.
In addition to that, the educational aspect in terms of landscaping. You
Mhm.
will be bringing the trees and the plants from different parts of the world as
Okay.
a representation of the different geographical parts, and we will be growing there
Mhm.
in our landscape area
Mhm.
and giving them the history to the
Mhm.
people who are visiting that area.
Okay.
So there is an educational input from the
Mhm.
landscape and the garden area,
Mhm.
educational input from the humanitarian area,
Mhm.
educational input from the central statue, Mother Earth area,
Right.
and the educational input from the spiritual practices what we are having. And
Mhm.
also, in addition,
Mhm.
these days, even in India, there's a lot of stress, especially with IT and other things. They
Right.
go to some of the resort areas, they will
Mhm.
eat and drink and come back exhausted more than they went.
Mhm.
So we are creating a spiritual weekend breaks or a
Okay.
spiritual vacation opportunity for them. When they come in here, we will give them the guidelines of the spirituality,
Oh,
sattvic food, and this
right.
way they will be able to rejuvenate and go back to their work, not go back exhausted.
So, so that is the benefits of visiting that monument, and not only just, for looking and just, like enjoying it, but it has some benefit for them to relax and just, feel relaxed and get rid of their stress. So is there a specific programs that you're planning on, offering to those people who would like to stay maybe like about couple of days and just enjoy the, thoroughly, like the whole
Yes,
entire
yes.
area?
We'll be teaching them the meditation aspect of meditation,
Okay.
teaching them the scientific basis of the meditation. It is
Okay.
not just to teaching them sitting down and then just do it. We'll
Right.
explain to them the science.
Okay.
What happens to the brain waves
Okay.
when they do that? What happens to their blood pressure? What
Right.
happens to their stress? When they are stressed, we think, I'm stressed out, but we
Right.
do not know what are the changes happens in the body
Right.
before we have the symptoms. Before somebody had a stroke, we will tell them, because of the stress, how the blood pressure can increase, how the cortisone can increase, how the, what do you call it, irregularity of the heart can start, what are the things happens to the brain waves. All
Mm-hmm.
of these things, when we explain to them, it will look like, it is not look like, it is a real science.
Right.
And same thing we will do when they do the pranayama.
Right.
For example, when they do the pranayama, I have been teaching them, when they
Mm-hmm.
take the deep inhalation, when they take a deep breath,
Mm-hmm.
the sinuses what we have here,
Mm-hmm.
just above that sinuses, there is another sinus. These are all the air cavities.
Okay.
The air turbulence creates the pressure of the variable things inside the sinuses, and just above these two sinuses, Anna, Anu,
Mm-hmm.
so we have the pituitary gland, which is the king of all the endocrine glands in the body,
Master gland. Right. Right.
and it stimulates that.
Right.
Just because it gets stimulated, just
Okay.
above that, there is a hypothalamus. It is the supreme controller of the
Right.
pituitary gland that
Mm-hmm.
controls it. Just with simple pranayama, how we
Mm-hmm.
are stimulating the endocrine system in the
Mm-hmm.
body, there is no
Mm-hmm.
medication to stimulate that.
Correct.
So we teach them as a science,
Mm-hmm.
including the children should be able to appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we tell them these are the protocols we have to follow and they have to do it
Mm-hmm.
because they understand it as a science. And
Okay.
also we show them
Right.
when they did these things,
Mm-hmm.
how the energy is changed.
Right.
Subjectively, for each one of them, we will show it because
Mm-hmm.
when they see it, it is changed literally
Mm-hmm.
from the water, whatever they have brought, or the food, whatever they have brought, they would
Correct.
be able to believe it.
Right.
It
Right.
is not any mystical thing. It is not any faith-based thing. It is
Correct.
purely a spirituality of science.
Science. Wow, that's a great connection that what you just said, because people do think that, because I think the activating the master gland, I bet that one is going to activate all the eight glands, and then probably the
Yeah.
all functions are going to be really, there is no miracle here. There is definitely a science connected to it, and it's wonderful to know. This is like, we never thought that just connecting to Mother Earth would really bring up so much of a connection, and the knowledge of benefits that what we are getting out of it. So once now that we know the location and benefits, everything, so let's also briefly quickly talk about, like we did talk about like all the walls, that what it represents, and the statues, and you also explained all the saints that who are going to be representing and connecting. So in brief, how does it this monument in overall, like, visitors will bring unity to the entire humanity, with all the things that are going on? So just in brief, if you could please talk a little bit about it.
Okay. I think two things,
Mhm.
One, what they see. When they see, physically, it gets their attraction.
Okay.
When, because of the physical attraction, they would like to come in and see it. When they
Okay.
see, they will see the different description
Mm-hmm.
and being able to see a sense of belongingness, because anybody from any part of the world, when they come in, they
Mm-hmm.
can recognize something belongs to them.
Yes.
Okay, so that is from the architectural point of view.
Oh,
When
okay.
they come inside,
Uh-huh.
when we give the information about the Mother
Mm-hmm.
Earth,
Mm-hmm.
the generosity of the Mother Earth, the sacrifice of the Mother Earth,
Right.
and hard work what she does all these billions of years and
Mm-hmm.
without being recognized, and her spiritual energy of the Mother Earth, when we give all of that and when
Mm-hmm.
we tell them we are all the children of this mother, beautiful Mother Earth,
Of
when we
course.
say that, it does bring the sense of belongingness, sense
Mm-hmm.
of unity, and also it should inculcate. If
Mm-hmm.
I hurt somebody, it is like hurting my brother or a sister.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the one thing. And also the landscape will also bring,
Mm-hmm.
and all these sattvic activities what we produce in here
Mm-hmm.
without being indulgence, and should be able to help taking away the hatred, taking away the division what has been enforced on us from the
Mm-hmm.
time we were born.
Right. Right.
So at least now we really have to wake up and then say we
Mm-hmm.
have been compartmentalized with the different names, with the
Yes.
different reasons, but these are all imprisonment with adverse reaction on the humanity and the
Right.
unity of humanity. We
Right.
need to get out of that.
Correct. Correct. So that's a wonderful message, and absolutely the valuable message. I think that at this time that we all have to, and I think we really are grateful for your taking the time to just come up with this one and building, and I'm very sure that many of us will be so grateful to you once this one is already come to an existence, and we go visit and experience what we just talked about. And so I know that this one is being carried on under the umbrella of like a Scope Foundation, and
Correct.
many effort of your team members of that. So if any of our audience would like to connect, the website is, I believe, www.scopefoundation.org, but any
Correct.
other way that they can connect, or they can come and like whether they want to be a part of it, or they just want to donate money, or even just a informational volunteer, like any of that, any way if they want to get involved with you. So how can they do that?
Yeah. I think, you asked a very important question. I would like this to be a global
Mhm.
monument
Okay.
for the global people and by the global people.
Okay.
Okay. And there are so many ways we can actually participate. Of
Mhm.
course, money is a very essential thing to build it. So they
Yes.
can donate the money.
Mhm.
They can uh, request their friends or colleagues and other things to encourage them to donate. They can donate their services. Okay. There are a lot of skills a lot of people will have.
Mhm.
So they can donate their services. There, for example, now there are 13 different country volunteers helping the organizational growth,
Mhm.
okay, in different areas, in IT areas, fundraising areas, and communication areas, and engineering areas, and all of these things,
Right.
especially. So
Mhm.
there are a lot of people who have been assisting. They are all excited to work on it because of
Mhm.
the unity of the Mother Earth and the recognition of the Mother Earth services. That is the one.
Absolutely.
They can think about Mother Earth
Mhm.
and write about Mother Earth. All
Mhm.
the poems, the songs,
Mhm.
country music, okay, all of those things, they can write. Okay,
Mhm.
just like, we sang the bhajan or
Again,
the
right,
prayer on the Mother Earth.
right,
And
right.
that is another area they can. They have the materials. For example, to build a monument, we need a lot of materials. If
Mhm.
they have the ownership of the material, or if they would like to provide any material, they can provide.
Right.
One important thing I would always request them, no matter whatever the work we are doing, devote 1 hour for yourself at the
Yes.
level of the body and the mind. And before you do anything regular work, devote yourself 1 hour, 30 minutes for the physical exercise,
Right.
and another 30 minutes for the active relaxation of the mind.
Right.
We
Okay.
can discuss that another time. We
Yes.
won't, probably don't have time now. So active relaxation of the mind will
Mhm.
change your brain waves to the positive side, and
Mhm.
also increase the endorphin, which is a pleasurable benzodiazepines in our body
Mhm.
naturally. So we
Right.
don't need to go anywhere else to produce any of these positive things. That is
Mhm.
what I request to them. Practice 1 hour every day. That will take the doctor away from you. That is what I tell them.
Absolutely. I think I 100% agree with you. So just, if you could tell, like, in a couple of sentences, what is your, like, a great, like, a good message to our young, the people who are, just working so hard to help everyone, especially the medical community?
I agree. I think, working very hard for the sake of the material benefit is good for the body.
Okay.
Okay. But the spirituality is part of your mind.
Right.
Okay. Mind is the controller. Okay. Spiritual practice is a tonic to the mind. So
Absolutely.
without the sense of spirituality, if
Hmm.
you try to say, I'm going to have this body comfort, that body comfort, I can be lying down on a best sofa in the world or best bed in the world. If you don't have a mental peace, you will not be comfortable, I tell you.
Right.
Okay. So that is why I tell everybody, take care of your mind. Mind will take care of your body very well.
Absolutely.
And also it will increase your productivity without any doubt.
Absolutely. That's a great message, Dr. Murthy, and thank you so much for taking time time and sharing your this wonderful, the details about the project that you're actually doing. So again, friends, whoever are watching today, and thank you so much for joining. Because if you would like to get more information about this project, please do visit thiscofoundation.org, and then also that we will be posting some more information on our Asian News Facebook pages if you want just to go and get some details as well. And I would like to thank Dr. Murthy for coming and spending time with us. And it was wonderful meeting you. And everyone, have a great rest of the day if you're wherever you are, or rest of the weekend. And stay cool, stay connected, and don't forget to watch our next episode of Global Gupshup. Until then, thank you everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful time, and thank you for joining. And
I just want to thank you, Anu, and
absolutely,
also the time your news media has given to us. And it is a, what do you call it, information and philanthropy.
thank you
It is
so
an
much.
information and philanthropy.
It's an
So
honor
I
to be
really
here.
appreciate that, and I really thank you. And
Thank you.
you are a wonderful anchor. I never seen anybody devoting so much time
Thank you,
to
sir.
a cause and then devoting so much of quality assurance here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Anu.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Have a
Okay.
good night, everyone. Bye.
Okay.